Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone for joining us for the combined Vyasa Puja celebrations. Apologies this year, we are starting a little bit late. Usually we start, I think we do this by first week or second week of Jan, and this time we could not align schedules, so we're doing this in late Feb. So first of all, apologies for that. And also today we are running a little bit late, so without further delay, we'll get started with the offerings. And first, the tradition, as per the yearly tradition, will have the disciples do the offerings first. There'll be one per Maharaj. And once they complete, we will open it up for others who have signed up to render the offerings. Humble request, please keep your offerings to max of 5 minutes. If you go beyond 5 minutes, our esteemed Namrata Prabhu will turn off the mic for you. So please do keep this one offering to maximum of 5 minutes. Also, please pay your obeisances. We will announce your name ahead of time. So please go ahead and pay the obeisances to your Maharajas, Prabhupada, and be ready so that people are not waiting for you to come and start the rendering. We will start with the Maharaj disciples first. Radha Vinod Prabhu, you will be first, and Pandey Vijay will be second.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते रोमपादस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवगौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances at the dust of your divine lotus feet. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, foremost we would like to thank you from the core of our hearts for giving shelter at your lotus feet, though we are unqualified for it. We would like to take this wonderful opportunity and make a humble attempt to speak a few words in your glorification on this glorious Vyasa Puja day with my limited knowledge. Maharaja, some of the exemplary qualities that we find in you and admire a lot are punctuality, sincerity, discipline, capability to manage many tasks for ISKCON in a leadership role, being well prepared and well organized in any situation, and always attentive to the welfare of the students. You always think of reaching us by conducting different kinds of seminars like Japa retreats, Festival of Holy Names, Thanksgiving seminars, and many such events. We personally enjoyed your association through Japa retreats that are conducted in Seattle area, where our spiritual energy is recharged year after year. The Brahma Samhita seminars you have given on Thanksgiving weekends in Seattle are very knowledgeable, where we could learn about Krishna in detail and know the Goloka Vrindavan realm in detail. Thank you again for those wonderful seminars. We had a great opportunity of taking your association through Kartik Yatras that we attended in 2013 and 2016. In 2013, we had Vrindavan Yatra with you, and we are really amazed of your preparation for the Yatra, where you have given detailed explanation of each and every small place and pastimes of Krishna in those places. We are remembering the time when we did the Govardhana Parikrama with you. You are walking so fast, and our eyes were fixed on you from a distance, trying to catch up with you. How much ever speed we increase, we are always behind you. We really appreciate the energy you carry to spread the knowledge of Krishna. We see the same energy in our beloved well-wisher, His Grace Harivilas Prabhuji too. I guess His Divine Grace has treated all of His disciples in the same capsule. And also, we can't forget the Dwarka Yatra with you, where we got shelter at your lotus feet. For both of these yatras, my parents and in-laws were with us, and they are amazed to find for the kind of energy you carry, and they appreciate it very much. We are looking forward to have many such yatras with you. Though you are hundreds and thousands of miles away, always traveling and busy in preaching activities. We always feel your presence through your lectures, wonderful inspiring quotes you send through emails quite often. We are spiritually empowered every time we meet you personally, and it gives us a hope for our spiritual journey. We are very grateful for your unconditional love upon us and your compassion in protecting our spiritual well-being. Without your mercy, we would have been totally lost, with no hope of shelter at Lord Krishna's lotus feet. Thank you very much for your personal instructions to us and to our children. We are very thankful to the Lord for sending you as our spiritual master, and we beg you that we may always remain in the shade of your divine lotus feet. All glories unto you. Hare Krishna, your humble servants, Radha Vinodas, Nirmala Devi Dasi, Sanjana and Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Hanumat Preshak Swami Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Om Agyana Timrandasya Gnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances onto your lotus feet. Wishing you a very happy 70th birthday. Pray to Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhav for many more to come. First and foremost, by any means, I am not qualified to glorify your holiness. However, I will still attempt to do so on this auspicious day, and I beg for forgiveness for all the offenses I may commit during the offering. Gurudev, it has been close to 7 years since I've had the opportunity to attend the Vyasa Puja celebrations in person. As part of our yearly tradition in Seattle, we conduct the combined Vyasa Puja, and then I send my offerings via email to you. During our monthly sync-up sessions, you share comments about the offerings and continue to provide instructions to your disciples. 2 weeks ago, when you had called me to discuss few matters, it was very obvious that your health continues to dwindle. And with all the travel you do for the preaching, especially in South America, where the places have very high altitude, your lungs are continuing to be fragile and you're coughing blood. To keep up with your health, you're just eating one meal a day, and that too not regularly. You were getting up at 2:30 a.m. to chant your rounds so that by Brahma Muhurta time, you can actually start your preaching activities. And now, you have revised that as well, and you're getting up at 1:08 a.m. such that you can finish your rounds early and use the extra time to continue to preach, mainly with emphasis on ISKCON education. Worrying about your health, this time I gathered the courage to humbly request you to slow down on your travel. Avoid high altitude places and rest up more. For this you replied, Pandava, I don't have enough time left. My spiritual master, which is Srila Prabhupada, gave me a very simple instruction. Whatever service you do, take it up very seriously and render that service very sincerely. As you know, I've already reached 70, and I think by 2024 and on Odina Shashti, I will leave this body, if not before. I still have long ways to go. As you say, slowing down may help the condition of my material body, but will take away precious time from my preaching activities. Srila Gurudev, your love for Srila Prabhupada and his instructions and the dedication you show, despite all odds, clearly is an inspiration for all your disciples. As is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 24th chapter, 13th verse, Etavati eva sushrusha, karya pitari putra kaya, badam iti anumanyate, gauravena gurur vachaha. Translation: sons ought to render service to their father exactly to this extent. One should obey the command of his father of spiritual master with due reference, saying, yes, sir. In the purport, it's clearly instructed that the disciple should accept the words of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. Whatever the father and the spiritual master order should be taken without argument. The father and the spiritual master are on the same platform because the spiritual master is the second father. The higher classes are called Dvija, or twice born. Whenever there's a question of birth, there is a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. Sometimes the father and the spiritual master may be the same man, and sometimes they may be different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of the spiritual master must be carried out without any hesitation, with an immediate yes. There should be no argument. That is the real service to the father and to the spiritual master. Vishnava Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of disciples. As a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the orders of the spiritual master from his life. If a disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. Srila Gurudev, you lead by example. As discussed in the above purport, if in this lifetime, if your disciples want to attempt trying to please you, your instructions are very simple. Take up a service and render that very seriously and sincerely. Gurudev, I've been extremely humbled and fortunate to manage the DT department here in Seattle for the past couple of years. On your auspicious Vyasa Puja day, I will make the same promise which I made to His Grace Harivilas Prabhu on his birthday, which is, whatever may be the circumstances, I will continue to render my service to the Lordships very sincerely and seriously. You also always highlight in your classes that when you render services, you need to be extremely humble and know the purpose of the service, that it is for pleasing the Lordships and to help improve your sadhana. We'll definitely attempt to follow your footsteps of continue to render sincere service, but always remain humble, knowing the purpose of service such that we can please the Lordships, Guru, His Grace Harivilas Prabhu, and all the Vaishnavas. I sincerely pray to the Lordships to give you good health, such that you can continue your preaching activities all across the world and please Srila Prabhupada. Though it was a brief visit, we really enjoyed your North American Education Conference in Seattle last year, and sincerely hope you will visit Seattle again this year to continue to inspire us. Again, please forgive this fallen disciple of yours for all any offenses committed. Your fallen servant, Pandya Vijay Das. Next will be Radhika Gopinath Prabhu, followed by Gauranga Chandra Prabhu.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Dear Gurudev, this offering is on behalf of all of your disciples in the Seattle congregation, so it's not just about me. Recently I had written a letter to you about starting a new center under the guidance of Srila Harivilas Prabhu here in Seattle. And you had said, yes, go forward. We need something in the Amazon.com area. So last night we had a miracle. We had a miracle where we had the opening session of our preaching in Seattle, Sodo district, in the bowels of Maya, on a brewery basically. It's the old Rainier Brewery. We rented a room within their compound and started our first Seattle preaching. So your blessing has helped us immensely. And Harivilas Prabhu has come with jet lag from India, and we had a 2-hour marathon kirtan there. 75 people attended, inaugural day. So that sets the stage for how our Seattle preaching would be in the future. So dear Gurudev, you have created an area of Vaishnava warriors on this planet. And you have imbibed Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's fearless preaching in each one of them. As a result of that, we are seeing a variety of very interesting preaching moods and messages across the world. Mahatattva Prabhu, who joined the movement after bachelor's degree, is now within a 10-year span become Bhakti Ananda Tirtha Maharaj and is traveling all around the world. Siberia, Croatia, Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, North America to preach. The second example is Nitya Gaura Prabhu, who was a high school teacher, and you have inspired him to become a preacher. He became the president of ISKCON San Diego, and now is going to New Talawan to start a farm community there, the second generation farm community. Vedanarayan Prabhu from Seattle, you inspired him, and in 4 years after leaving Seattle, he preached so strongly that he has 7 disciples in that area, each one going to a different village and preaching there. So you have created these preachers such as Nartaka Gauranga Prabhu, who was a diamond merchant, and he created a diamond of a farm community in Gujarat with 40 Gurukulis and number of brahmacharis, and inspiring other diamond merchants to give up their business and live on a farm. Sridhar Sham Prabhu in Dallas is now doing prison preaching. He goes to prison every week, driving 2 hours. So prison is between Dallas and Houston. So if you know the geography, it takes about 3.5 hours to get there. It's halfway through. So he is preaching there very strongly in the prison. Vasudeva Datta Prabhu is preaching in Sri Lanka, navigating the landmines left over between Tamil and Sinhalese wars, civil war. And people, kids who lose their legs and limbs, whenever they step on this landmine, unknowingly, they just get blown. So one leg lost. So you are rescuing all of them and preaching to them Krishna consciousness. So you have shown to be a great disciple of Srila Prabhupada by training the next generation of disciples who are taking this movement forward. So it is very comfortable for us to be in Seattle and just go do local preaching. But these preachers are there in the battlefield doing big things. I am unworthy because I have not been able to do anything as grand as these above mentioned examples in your service to Srila Prabhupada, and I pray to you so that you may inspire me, my wife Padma Devidasi, my kids, Navin Krishna Prabhu, Divyadrishti Mataji, Radhanand Prabhu and his wife to do something similar great in the Seattle area. Thank you, Gurudev, for all your mercy, but mercy is not a one-way street. When you give us mercy, we should reciprocate it by our seva and service to the spiritual master. And that's how you have always imbibed your disciples to do something big and magnificent and not something just trivial and just... You always say this, we should not be bhajananandis, sitting in the temple and chanting. We should be goshtyanandis, going outside and fighting. So in your book, where's my bag? I lost my bag. No, the Trader's Joe's bag in the back. In your book, you talk about, a book is called Speaking Strongly in Srila Prabhupada's service. You talk about how preaching is fighting. You mention that when we preach, it's not going to be a bed of roses. Preaching means fighting. So we should get out of the Bhajananandi concept and actually go out and fight. Like at the age of 72, Harulas Prabhu last night went there in jet lag and fought for 2 hours. And that area is very Maya ridden. Like there are breweries, there are marijuana joints, and he gave 2 hours of Harinam in the bowels of Maya. So in your book, Gurudev, you say, preach strongly or perish, in untitingly explaining the substantial philosophy of the absolute truth as delineated in Shastra. Srila Prabhupada necessarily spoke against all flawed and nonsensical perspectives held by non-devotees. But in today's ISKCON, it's unusual and in some circles almost taboo to raise a voice of challenge against cheating so-called religionists, scientists, welfare workers, educationists at all. So you want us to preach strongly, and you also want us to give compassion, but compassion with reason. Thank you, Gurudev, for continuing to guide us. I will not take too much time, but I would like to glorify some of the other spiritual masters that are here and that are not here, starting with His Holiness Navyogendra Swami Maharaj, who ran away from his marriage pandal. He said, I don't want to be married. I want to preach. And he left at the age of 19. He's 72. Actually, this week is his real Vyasa Puja going on in Udhampur in Kashmir. So I asked His Holiness Navyogendra Swami Maharaj, are you so close to Pakistan border? Are you not afraid of these shells coming from Pakistan? Because Pakistan every day they shell, right? Indian border. He said, material world is like that. We still need to continue to preach. So His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj has inspired a number of people in a number of ways. But the most relevant and timely inspiration comes from one of his disciples, His Grace Lalitanath Prabhu. who wrote a book called Rethinking Darwinism. There are two things killing the world today. One is killing the cow, massive amount of cow killing, 50 million cows, 1 billion chicken killed in America every year. That's a lot. All of that karma stays in people, and good people become bad because of all the karma that goes into each one of us. The second is Darwinism, which tells us that we all came from monkeys and therefore there is no need to believe in God. So Lalitanath Prabhu, who is a disciple of Radhanath Maharaj, he wrote a book called Rethinking Darwinism, which is being published by my Guru Maharaj in India under Bhakti Vikas Trust. It is published here in America under BBT, and he is publishing in India under Bhakti Vikas Trust. Why? Because India is now ridden with this Darwinism. So there is this cabinet minister from India who said Darwin is wrong, and immediately there is a furor. In the land of Dharma, everybody thinks that they came from monkeys. Even though a cabinet minister is saying, no, we have to rethink this. So Lalitanath Prabhu's book is very valuable in that kind of preaching. Everybody get a book table, please get some and get orders for all of us. The second is His Holiness Rompa Swami Maharaj. I have listened to several of his lectures. Maharaj, I have come to your Vrindavan Yatra in 2013, but in 2007 lecture you mentioned something very interesting, that all of our parampara system comes from the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, our worship Shaili, this system. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami is the one who authored all of our books, matter of fact, and Jiva Goswami and trained Gopal Bhatta Goswami in all these devotional practices. So there is a strong connection between Sri Vaishnavism and the Gaudiya Vaishnavism. The Back to Godhead magazines, there is this sheet which says reasons to get along. Reasons to get along. Everybody see this? Reasons to get along between Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya and Sri Sampradaya. And so in 2007, Rompa Swami Maharaj in his lecture, he says, did you know that all of our puja vidhi comes from the Sri Vaishnavas? So there is no question of fighting with them. We have to cooperate with these two different sampradayas. And that's what we are doing to do exactly. We are having a temple in Bellevue where we are cooperating with the Sri Sampradaya, and we'll have a Radha Krishna temple with Balaji in that temple. So thank you, Rompa Swami Maharaj, for your excellent lecture, 2007 Vrindavan Yatra. His Holiness Hanumat Prasaka Swami is all about education, is also about very funny anecdotes, but behind his funny veneer comes a very strict attitude of devotional service. He expects all of his disciples to wake up at 4 a.m. and do Mangalarti at 4:30. When I was in Silicon Valley, we were in the temple. There were only 3 people in the temple. Of course, I was there because I had to serve my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. And then Hanumat Prasak Maharaj and Bhakti Vikas Maharaj and myself. The only 3 people in the temple at 4:30. There was nobody else. But both of them were very happy, singing and dancing for Srila Prabhupada. As their spiritual master instructed them, both of them were very ecstatically dancing. And rest of all of us were in our beds sleeping. So, but Hanumat Prasak Maharaj says, his disciple means they have to wake up early in the morning. True? Yes. If not, then they are not their disciple. So with that I conclude. Thank you very much for patiently hearing. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. Sri, so I'll start in the interest of time. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada had a dream, and that dream was to build a new Vrindavan community. The new Vrindavan community was about a replication of what's out there in Vrindavan, the major temples of Vrindavan, all the holy places, Giri Govardhan, all the nice kundas, right? And that community was at the peak of its well-being, I would say. I was told there were more than 200 construction equipments in New Vrindavan area in the USA. Still, the dream is not complete. The dream is still yet to be fulfilled. But looking at what Srila Prabhupada wanted, Maharaj, you have built a Govardhan Eco Village near Mumbai, and that's a 85 square kilometer farm community, I would say. And for outsiders, this is a place of eco-farming, sustainability, job creation via tourism, Ayurveda, yoga retreat, with various animals well taken care of, like a family members, with internet and delicious food. But Govardhan Eco Village for devotees is a very attractive place to visit, relish the pastimes of Krishna, enjoy all the devotional practices over there, and purify their life. So for both ways it works really well. It is very well funded by the external flow of tourism, but devotees are getting the best experience of what it means to be in Vrindavan, the way it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam and all the stories of Acharyas. So there are all pluses. Typically when you go to actual Vrindavan, you also face lots of other limitations which are absent in the GEV. So now this place has been won many national and international awards, and for devotees, this is the place to visit, especially from Mumbai area. So I visited GV in last 3 years. I had this opportunity to visit multiple times and talk to those brahmacharis who actually started that project. And one of them told me a story. The story was, after brahmacharis joined the Radha Gopinath, one batch of devotees, like a half a dozen brahmacharis, were given 1 year of spiritual training, and they were sent to the GEV, which was at that point in time a snake-infested, thorny bushes jungle with hot and humid weather. And 40 acres of land was given to them. The question was, what will they do with that? So they had more questions than answers about how are we going to do anything. And they spoke to Maharaj about this. Maharaj said, yes, why don't you start counting the trees? And they couldn't see the connection between what Maharaj had a dream and what action they were supposed to take. There was lots of frustration, I would say. But they took Maharaj's instruction seriously. And these half a dozen brahmacharis went around the 40 acres of thorny bushes, counted every tree, numbered it, tagged it. Now at the end of it, they know exactly how many trees are there on these 40-acre land. And very soon, a government officer, forest officer, came visiting them. And he was in a real bad mood. So he started asking, why are you guys here? Who are you? And are you trying to cut trees and sell them and do illegal activities over here? Is that why you are here? And I'm going to prosecute you. And this brahmachari tried explaining, we are engineers, we are city boys, we are trying to do good for the society, we are in the jungle because we want to build a eco. And he's like, I don't believe you. Tell me, how many trees are there here in this land? And they gave the exact number. And he was taken aback. How do you know that there are so many trees over here? I said, who can show you? They took him for a tour and showed him all the trees which were well tagged. Now he was listening. And then they explained him the Krishna conscious philosophy. As a result, he said, okay, I have a big piece of land right next to your GEV. I will donate that to you. So that was a great moment for the devotees to say, okay, they could see the divine intervention now. They started working very hard from there, and now we have a full-fledged yoga retreat center / New Vrindavan for us. And all the Prabhupada disciples who were involved with New Vrindavan project, when they visit Wada or Govardhan Eco Village, there are examples of tears in their eyes because they know that this was Prabhupada's dream and now it is coming true, at least in Mumbai. So I would recommend all of us to visit that, and Maharaj, thank you for creating a place that we all can visit. Now, for brahmacharis in Mumbai who left their family life, who left their, I would say, all the material comforts of being engineers and being in the Western world, and they got chance to work on this transformational project. But by grace of His Grace Harivilas Prabhu, same transformational projects opportunities are available to us right in the comfort of our homes, cars and family life. And that is examples of some of the manifestations of this VCC itself. I remember being in the Redmond industrial place where there was a temporary temple and 12 or 15 devotees doing meeting with Harivilas Prabhu saying that we are going to do Kumbh Mela and we are going to build a temple. And I was looking at the devotees, I was looking at Harivilas Prabhu. I was new. I'm like, I don't see anything happening. But it happened in front of our eyes. So there are good examples of farm community, the Govardhan, sorry, not Govardhan, but the cow farm that we have now. And the list is not ending, it is expanding. The Seattle temple, the Bellevue temple, the professional dairy for cows and with ahimsa milk, going to the next levels of creating sustainable homeless shelters with government funding. So the opportunities are unlimited, and I would like to thank His Grace Hari Vilas Prabhu, because what is Seattle without Hari Vilas Prabhu? Have we thought we take things for granted? Seattle is the second highest place of attempted suicides in the nation. That is this place. Now, we are in much better situation only because Hari Vilas Prabhu has created a community where we all can connect, serve, and enjoy. So, at this point in time, I would like to request Hari Vilas Prabhu and all congregation members that please forgive me for my offenses and engage me in devotional service. And with that, I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank all the Maharajas, all the Prabhupada disciples, because as a big team, they have created this environment, which in the timeline, if you look at it, it was very hard to be Hare Krishna in the past, because the technology was not available. It's very hard to be Hare Krishna in future, because Kali Yuga is taking over faster. So we are at a very opportune time to practice our devotional life and see Krishna this lifetime. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ओम नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णभृष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। ओम नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णभृष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते रोमपादिस्वामी महाराज इति नामिने। Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your divine grace. On the occasion of your Vyasa Puja celebration, we would like to express our sincere gratitude for accepting us as your disciples and giving us shelter. Our journey towards reviving our dormant Krishna consciousness started by accidentally attending a Discover Yourself course in VCC. The very same year, we met you for the first time in the VCC temple. We got introduced to your in-person lectures at VCC during occasions like Thanksgiving weekend and Japa retreats. The Japa retreat in Seattle is our favorite event, and we await that time all year to gain your personal association. Our kids plan and talk about this event all through the year. We were inspired by the lectures and workshops organized under your guidance, especially during Japa retreats, to increase both quantity and quality of chanting. Your lectures have many practical tips and contain nothing but pure nectar about the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. We learnt about great qualities from you, such as being punctual, dealing with respect, planning ahead of time, being compassionate, and prioritizing things as we observe these qualities in you and your actions. We always contemplate your instruction on priorities: health, job, family, chanting, and service, to check if we are heading in right direction and balancing all. Whenever we need any guidance, you enlighten us on a regular basis with your personal email communication, and whenever we are in doubt, you provide clarification. We are very grateful to you for so many wonderful hearing opportunities you create for us on a regular basis. Even though we are situated far away, using technology we can remain connected. Other automatic weekly emails such as Instruction of the Week also help connect us, and the question and answers emails provide a lot of clarification. Once in our local Bhakti Gita studies, we had a question about Lord Balarama's age. Coincidentally, the next day itself, we received an email from you clarifying Balarama's age, without even our asking. Another time, after hearing our initiation lecture about the quality of chanting on May 7th, 2017 in Portland, we asked you a question, and you personally forwarded the lecture content and explained it to us thoroughly. On a personal note, when I met with an accident and injured my leg, your email gave us support by reminding us of Srimad Bhagavatam verse and using the opportunity to help us take shelter of Krishna. You also checked with us if we need any financial support. By Krishna's mercy, our insurance covered expenses, but we were really moved by your caring words about your disciples' well-being. On another occasion, when we discussed our relocation plan to Canada, you helped us get in touch with the right person, Nandagopal Prabhu from Vancouver. It helped us a lot. Again, on the auspicious occasion of our Vyasa Puja, we would like to express our gratitude for all the blessings, guidance, and encouragement you are giving us constantly in our life. Thank you very much for making us fortunate by giving us shelter at your lotus feet and letting us join on the transcendental parampara. Your servants, Baladasa, Sarada Devi Dasi, Divija, and Avanicha. Thank you.
My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. I don't feel so qualified to talk in front of all of you. I was not even hoping that I will be given this opportunity, but I feel it's Krishna's mercy that I've been given an opportunity. I came to this temple in like 2007 or 2008. I came here when VCC was opened first. And I was in a pretty difficult situation personally. Emotionally, I was really in a very bad state. If it was any other temple, I seriously doubt if I would even be allowed to be in the congregation. But Harivilas Prabhu and all the other members of the congregation just showed a lot of mercy and compassion. So I know I have a very long way to go, but I'm definitely what I am because of all of you. I met my Guru Maharaj in 1997, and I was just in my first year of college. I was pure Mayavadi. I was 100% Mayavadi. So, and I had very much difficulty in understanding Maharaj's pronunciation, and things were going so up above my head. So when Maharaj told Anartha Nivritti, I heard it as Nartana Vritti. So I had no understanding of what's going. Oh, maybe dancing is it has not something to do with Krishna consciousness. Like I had no understanding whatsoever. But Maharaj was always appreciative of whatever I did. He used to hear so patiently to my questions. He used to look at my face. And in one of the lectures he told, I think you are so and so's brother. Like, he was so personal to me and all that. So many times whenever I was in difficulty, I used to get mails from Maharaj even without me asking. Like, the mails, weekly mails that we get. So in 2005, I had my chicken pox. I was here in University of Florida, here in US. But the day I got my chicken pox and I was really suffering, the next day there was a mail from Maharaj in the group, the questions to the absolute and things like that. So somebody had asked about poor health, and Maharaj had replied. So whenever I was in difficulty, even without me asking, I used to get the answers. And in 2007, I had a car accident, and the next day somebody had asked about a car accident. And Maharaj, they asked, does Krishna actually protect the bodies of the devotees also? So that was the question. So there was an answer from Maharaj even without me asking him. And 2012, I was really confused whether I must get married or not. So Maharaj spent like half an hour with me early in the morning, and looking at me, he told, "No, you need to get married. Like, you know, it's written on your face." So Maharaj knew a lot more about me than I knew, and I think that was a good decision. Then when I used to try to find, to get married, Maharaj used to mail me and say, "So what's the status, Sundara? I want to know." Like, he used to really keep track of what I'm doing on that front. And so I definitely feel that there was Maharaj's blessings in finding my partner, because if I had a worse partner, I don't know if I would even be here. So I'm sure Maharaj's blessings was there. And last Vyasa Puja, Maharaj wrote to me on his own, "Sundara, I'm thinking about you a lot. Like, today somehow my thoughts are coming about you. So tell me how you are doing." So like, Maharaj, somehow he remembers me. Sometimes he writes to me on his own. And sometimes once he found me on the corridor and I was not wearing tilaka. So he put his hand on my forehead and said, "Where is the tilaka?" Like, so, and many times when Maharaj used to give lectures, I used to think, "Oh, I need to impress Maharaj by asking a good question." So, so Maharaj used to look at me and say, "Sundara, I see something cooking inside you. What's the matter?" Like, so I always feel like I'm his son or I'm his child. Like, I'm sure Maharaj always feels like that about all his disciples. He loves everybody, and so I have a long way to go, but thank you for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
At this time, we'll start the class by His Grace Harivilas Prabhu. Around 12:45, we'll have the Aarti.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Guruvani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paskatya Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Well, that was my class. Thank you very much. So today, it's a very auspicious time to glorify one's Diksha Guru. One time when I was alone with Prabhupada, when I was leaving, I bowed down in front of him, and I said, "Om Aganyatimirandasya Jnananjana Salaikaya Chaksur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha." I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, and I was blinded by the torchlight of knowledge. I was blinded by the darkness of ignorance, and my Guru lighted up my mind with the torch of knowledge. So this mantra is extremely important in the life of a disciple, because we can receive many gifts. Our parents give us gifts, friends give us gifts, and so forth. But the gift that the spiritual master gives us is invaluable. In other words, you cannot evaluate it. It's beyond our capacity to measure. The gift that the spiritual master gives is called Divya Gyan, transcendental knowledge. And that transcendental knowledge is absolutely important in the life of every living entity. Without it, one does not lose their attraction to the material nature. So, it's impossible to overcome the attraction to the material nature except by the mercy of a bona fide spiritual master who gives genuine Divya Jnana. So, we have 4 fundamental defects. We all make mistakes. We're easily illusioned. We have imperfect senses, and we have a cheating propensity. That disqualifies us to figure out what the truth is on our own. If we have hands that are tied like this, you need to find a person whose hands are not tied to release you. So that what ties our hands are our attraction to sense gratification. And in the world today, sense gratification is glorified. Just like, for example, whenever you go to a strict Muslim country, you'll see that the women have burqas. A burqa completely covers them. You can hardly even see their eyes. In fact, their eyes are also covered. Of course, there's different degrees of covering. The Muslims in the Sahara Desert, they leave one eye open of the woman. If you go to a strict Sharia Muslim country, the whole body is covered. And if you go to more liberal Muslim countries, you can see the face. Right? So why do they do this? Because the attraction to the body and any physical attribute of the body can, for someone who's not trained in spiritual life, can give all kinds of, let's say, images that dwell in the mind and hard to get rid of them. However, in Krishna consciousness, although normally, if you look at traditional Krishna conscious societies, such as in the Vedic times and even up to most recent times, women would always cover their hair, and if you go to Rajasthan, they cover their face also with their saris. However, the difference is this: once one receives Divya Jnana, they stop looking at the body, whether of a man or a woman, and they become cognizant of the existence of the eternal soul. And not only that, they see also the presence of Krishna in the heart of everyone. Therefore, they see basically Krishna. And by this is the blessing of Divya Jnana. You develop this universal vision of the presence of the Supreme Lord. Whether you look at a tree, a car, or an animal, an insect, a bird, you understand theoretically on one level that Krishna is in the heart of everyone. And when one becomes more purified, you can actually see Krishna's presence in the heart of every living entity. Or as Lord Brahma also reveals, Ekopyaso rachayatum jagadanda kotim yaschaktirasti jagadanda chaya yananta adantarasta paramanu chayantarastam govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. Krishna is present not only in the heart of every living entity, he's also present in every atom of the universe. So this universal vision of Krishna liberates one from focusing on the temporary body, and rather one focuses on the presence of Krishna and the individual jiva in every living entity. Then it's not possible to make a mistake. But without that vision, it's very easy to make a mistake and then start to develop attraction to the material world. Dhyayato vishayam pumsa sangat te subhajayate, sangat sanjayate kama, kama krodha vijayate. Krodhat bhavati samoha, samaha smriti vibrama, smriti brahmsat buddhinaso, buddhinasat pranasyati. While contemplating the objects of the senses, one develops attachment. As attachment increases, one develops lust. If lust is frustrated, one becomes angry. When there's angry, one develops bewilderment. When there's bewilderment, mind is confused. And when the mind is confused, one loses intelligence, and then one falls down into the whirlpool of material life. So this is taking place on a regular basis when a person does not have divya jnana. And therefore, everyone in the material world who is not fortunate enough to have a bona fide spiritual master, and that's not enough, one must also actively follow the instructions of the spiritual master on a daily basis. And in that way, mam chayo vibhacharena bhakti yogena sevata. Sagunam samatityaitan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in devotional service and never falls down under any circumstance, rises above the influence of the modes of material nature and attains the state of Brahman. What is that state of Brahman? There's no more hankering, no more lamentation, and one is friendly with all living entities and does good to everyone because they see the presence of Krishna or God in their heart. So at that stage, one does not fall into this trap of dhyayato vishayam pumsa, meditating on the objects of the senses with the view of having sense gratification. And then one develops attachment, and when that attachment increases, there's lust. Lust means the overriding, irresistible desire for sense gratification. It becomes an obsession. And if that's frustrated, one immediately develops anger, and anger, there's bewilderment, and from bewilderment, there's confusion of the memory, and confusion of memory is loss of intelligence. So, therefore, the gift of Divya Gyan is the greatest gift one can receive, because one will lose their attachment and attraction to the material nature, and one becomes extremely tolerant. One is not prone to getting angry anymore. One actually develops humility, understanding that Krishna is the greatest and I'm the least. Therefore, I must dedicate my life to serving the Lord. We should not make the mistake of becoming angry due to criticism. Like, for example, when Sati went to the festival of her father, Daksha, she went with the idea not so much to see her relatives, although she used that as the excuse, but her desire was to convince her father, Daksha, not to be irrespective and not to be critical of her husband, Shiva. She considered her husband a pure devotee. Well, the opposite happened when he saw his daughter, and when she saw that he had not put aside for his Lord Shiva any prasadam. Whenever there's a major festival, normally this was traditional in India, and I've seen it myself in some temples in Vrindavan. Whenever there's a festival, they put plates out for the devas. And one time I asked the question, who's supposed to sit over there? There were a whole bunch of plates. And they said, that's for the devatas. You know. So, but Shiva did not, Daksha did not put any prasadam for Lord Shiva. And when Sati saw this, she became very upset. And then her father, she could tell, was very offensive to her husband. So she, in her anger, wanted to cut off any relationship with her father. And her relationship was one of her body. Her body was made by her father and mother. So she committed sati. In other words, she immolated herself. She set herself on fire with yogic, mystic power. And then when Lord Shiva heard this, and he knew his wife did that because she heard insults of him, he became very angry, and he came with all his, let's say, followers. Lord Shiva has 3 categories of followers. One are the demons, ghosts, hobgoblins, and other types of horrible living entities. Secondly are people strongly attached to material life. And third, he has genuine Brahmins who follow the Vedic principles. Don't forget that Lord Shiva is the original, let's say, guru of the Rudra Sampradaya, which is a bona fide Vaishnava Sampradaya. So all his students or all his disciples are not demons. And why does he have demoniac disciples? Because he's Vaishnavananam Yata Sambhu. He's willing to undertake helping the lowest of the lowest in humanity, and that is demoniac people, and he tries to help them. It gets him in trouble a lot, but still, he is merciful even to the lowest types of people. Well, anyway, all these people come, and a big fight takes place. There's cursing and counter-cursing, and then there's a lot of violence. And afterwards, when everything calms down, there is some peace negotiated, and eventually Shiva is convinced by the devotees to put Daksha's head back on. But he said, I'll do it, but not the same head. I'll put the head of a donkey, you know. So then they decide to continue the yajna, and the Brahmins start saying the mantras. First of all, they clean up all the mess that the demons made, and they purify everything, and then they begin to sacrifice. And lo and behold, Lord Vishnu comes, or Narayana, on the back of Garuda. And at that time, everyone is so overwhelmed and exhilarated by the presence of the Supreme Lord, and everyone begins to feel sorry for what they did. And Lord Shiva feels sorry, and he speaks, and he apologizes for getting angry, and he realizes that it was very inappropriate what happened. He got angry because he was insulted. That's not a reason to get angry. For example, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tararapi Saistana, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. One can become Sadaharis, a person who never stops chanting Hare Krishna, when they feel and genuinely think of themselves as more humble than the straw on the street, more tolerant than a tree, and ready to offer all respect to others, even those that don't respect you. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So that's the real quality of a devotee who has received Divya Jnana. They realize that Krishna will give special protection to the humble devotee, just like he did to Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj didn't try and protect himself. He completely surrendered to the Lord, and the Lord protected him. And Draupadi, she couldn't protect herself, but she completely surrendered to the Lord, and the Lord protected her. So this is the special, not everyone realizes this. It requires a lot of deep introspection to come to this conviction, to believe the promise of the Lord. Konteya pratijanihi nami bhakta pranasyati. Declare it boldly, Arjuna, to the whole world that my devotee will never perish. These are realizations we come to once we begin to override the latent attachment to material life. And what is attachment to material life? It's pratista and kamini. It's attachment or an attraction to sense gratification, and attraction to being honored for what we do. Even if it's an insignificant thing, we want to be honored. In modern language, it's called self-esteem, but self-esteem of the false ego, not of the real person. So as long as we are pursuing that perilous route of self-esteem, in the false sense, we will offend many people, thinking that we're right to do it. Now here you have Lord Shiva, who's an exalted devotee, right? But he also fell into that trap. And what happened, people were murdered. The Brahmanas were murdered. And that animosity that was created is still going on today between the Shaivites and the Vaishnavas. It's part of that cursing, that counter-cursing that took place in the ancient time. That curse is still acting today. And it acts on people who have not risen above the influence of the modes of material nature. If one sincerely follows his guru and sincerely practices chinadapi sunichena, that curse will not act on them. But if one doesn't sincerely follow, then that curse will act, and we will make the same mistake that Lord Shiva made. And you can summarize it as same old, making the same mistake over and over again, birth after birth, not just in this lifetime, but birth after birth. This is what keeps us in the material world, not believing Krishna's words. Where Krishna says, Samaham sarvabhute suname dvesastina priya ye bhajanti tamam bhakta maite te sum chabdaham. He says that I'm not partial to anyone, but someone who serves me with love and devotion, I give them special consideration. So it's normal. If there was a fire and your child and your neighbor's child were in the house that's burning, if you run into the house, which child will you look for first? The neighbor's child or your child? Tell me, what would you say? Your child, of course. So therefore, Krishna is partial to his devotees, although he's not partial to anyone. He gives everyone the same equal chance. But if someone becomes his devotee, he will give them special protection. And that's exactly what we need. But as long as we think, oh, I can protect myself, I have powerful friends, I have a big 401k, I got this, I have that. Well, that's called putting your faith in fallible soldiers. Fallible soldiers are soldiers who are going to fail and who are actually not as strong as they claim to be. So we should, especially on this day, understand what the gift, the invaluable, the precious gift that we've received from our gurus. And when I say gurus, I mean Shiksha and Diksha gurus. Just like if you have a tapestry, you have horizontal and vertical threads. If you have a tapestry just made of vertical threads, what's going to happen to it? It's not going to come apart, it's just going to collapse. Right? It's already apart. It's just going to collapse. But when you have horizontal and vertical threads that are tightly woven together, if you've ever had any experience with Oriental rugs, whenever there's an Oriental rug and there's an Oriental rug expert, the first thing he'll do is like this. And he'll look at the stitching on the bottom to see whether it was done by a machine or by a human being. And if it was done by a human being, he'll take a very close look to see how tight and how many stitches there are per square inch. I know because my family was a little bit into that business. So when the stitching is done very tightly and with good quality cotton or silk or whatever, that rug will last for hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And there are rugs that were made many hundreds of years ago that are still around and still very usable. But the cheaper rugs, the ones that are made industrially or the ones that are made by less than expert people, they don't last very long. They eventually wear out. So if we have Shiksha and Diksha Guru, those are horizontal and vertical threads. And when they're tightly bound together, in other words, a person is taking regular instruction from Shiksha and Diksha Guru, they are very safe. Because they will always have the advice of a bona fide spiritual master. So our mistakes can be overcome. Our imperfect senses, our mistakes, our tendency to be an illusion, our cheating propensity, all these things will be overcome by regular association with good devotees, and above all, The number one thing is regular hearing and chanting in the association of rightfully situated devotees. This regular hearing and chanting. Now, someone can say, oh, but I'm listening to tapes all the time. I can guarantee you that your listening is not effective. There's more than simply listening. There's such a thing as effective listening. And effective listening means that you will have many questions when you hear effectively. And if you have no questions at all, that means you did not hear that class. Okay. You did not actually hear the class. You heard it, but you didn't hear it. Because if you listen carefully to Vedic knowledge, you will have many questions. They will arise naturally because there are many things that we don't know. If you have no questions, it's implying that you understood everything. But if we understand everything, then we would not be making any mistakes. And that's not the case. So this effective hearing is different than simply hearing. And this is something we should understand. If you're doing something else while you're hearing a tape, you will not understand anything from that tape. But if you're focused 100% in the class or listening to a tape or reading, then many realizations will come and many questions will come. And finding the answers to those questions leads to the ability to remember the points for the rest of your life and be able to use them when you speak. So we can gauge how effective our hearing is by how much we remember and how many, let's say, amazing realizations we have that stay with us the rest of our life. And actually, that number is usually very small. It's very small. And therefore, people who don't have effective hearing, their preaching is always on the same level it was when they did have effective hearing, which might have been 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So they're still preaching on that level because their hearing ability never evolved. So this hearing, and then above all, following the dictation of the acharyas. Just like recently, this one television personality insulted Vice President Pence when she heard that he sometimes is hearing Jesus talk to him. So she said, that means he must be crazy. He's hearing voices like that. That means he must be crazy. Well, no, miss, he's not crazy. Whenever you hear the Bible, or whenever you hear Bhagavad Gita, you're hearing God speak, right? So it's not hearing voices. It's because if you have the hearing ability, just like Jesus said when he was speaking on the Sermon on the Mount, he said, those who have ears, let them listen. But wait a minute, everybody's got ears. Even a dog has ears, right? So what does he mean by those who have ears, let them listen? It means that not everybody has ears, but not everybody listens. That's what it means. So he's saying, what he's saying is, listen, now I'm going to begin to speak. If you have ears, now perk them up and listen very carefully to what I'm going to say, right? So the problem is that we might have a guru, we might be chanting Hare Krishna, but the level of the chanting and the level of the listening might be very poor. And therefore, it's difficult to make tangible spiritual advancement in that situation. It's when we improve the level of the chanting and the level of the listening and following of the instructions that we make tangible and quick spiritual advancement. So we must become serious about this hearing and chanting. That is the key. Shravanam, Kirtanam. It's not eatinam, sleepinam, and lazinam. It's Shravanam and Kirtanam. So we should take this very seriously today, because by serious hearing and chanting, we receive on a regular basis, not only once, on a regular basis, divya gyan, transcendental knowledge, by which we lose our attraction to material life. and we develop an overriding attraction to chanting, hearing, and engaging in regular devotional service. So day before yesterday we spoke about Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and Goswami Maharaj shared a deep realization with Giriraj Maharaj. He said, the most important thing is service, because service is the proof that you heard and you chanted correctly. So, a person who's always engaged in devotional service, mam chayo vibhacharina bhakti yogena sevate, sagunam samatityaitan brahmabhuyaya kalpate, bhaktya mam abhijananti yavanyasyasmi tatpata, tatomam tatputo yatma, vishite tad anantaram. It's only by devotional service that one can understand Krishna and go back to Godhead. It's only by devotional service that one can overcome the influence of the modes of material nature. Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya aham evam vidurirjana gyatam drastum chatatvena pravestum cha parantapa. It's only by devotional service, O Arjuna, that you can see me as I am standing before you right now. See? So, the proof that we have actually heard and chanted properly for years is that we are engaged full-time in devotional service, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and 366 on the leap year. That means we have actually heard, and we are actually following. So let's pray today to our gurus, to our Vaishnava acharyas, to please bless everyone here to be free of any attraction to material life, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, and to redirect our attention and our aspirations to pleasing Radha and Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and our Vaishnava acharyas. Hare Krishna. Gaura Premanandi. Hari Bol.
काम नहीं कर रहा, काम कर रहा, वो चाहिए लगाओ, जय प्रभुपादा, जय प्रभुपादा, प्रभुपादा, जय प्रभुपादा। जय प्रभुपादा, 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 जय प्रभुपादा। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 प्रभुपाद। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा बन्दमय सावधान मते बन्दमय सावधान मते যাহার প্রসাদে বাই এ বাবত রিয়া যায় কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তি হয় যাহা হইতে কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তি হয় যাহা হইতে গুরু মুখ পদ্মা বাইক চিতে তেকো রিয়া পারানা করিয়া মনে আশা পারানা করিয়া মনে আশা শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এসে তোমাগতি যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা चक्षुदान दिल जे जन्म जन्म प्रभु से ओ चक्षुदान दिल जे जन्म जन्म प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित ओ दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति जाते अविद विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जाते अविद विनाश जाते वेद गाय जार चरित्र ओ वेद गाय जार चरित्र श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु लोकनाथ कर जीवाना ओ लोकनाथ कर जीवाना आहा प्रभु करो दया हमारे पद छाया महाप्रभु करो दया हमारे पद छाया जज गुजति भुवाना ओ एवे जज गुजति भुवाना प्रभु करो दया हमारे पद छाया प्रभु करो दया दे हमारे पद छाया प्रभु पात करो दया दे हमारे पद छाया हे विजय गुजति भुवन जय प्रभु पद प्रभु पद प्रभु पद जय प्रभु पद Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Oh Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Oh Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Oh Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Oh Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Oh Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pararajagacharya Statara Shishi Shimad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pararajagacharya Statara Shishi Shimad, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Koho Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Samakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapura Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Jamuna Maya Ki Jai. Samavela Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Vaishnavacharyas Ki Jai. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Pushpanjali ceremony. Hare Krishna. Om Aganyati Mirandasya Yananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaguna Ragunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Saidvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaguna Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namani Shivarsavanabi Devi Dayita Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhur Ujjvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Kora Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Apasiddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gora Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namine Gora Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumestvam Nirdesta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhumashi Jaganatayate Namaha Vanchakalpa Durabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gurutuse Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktasaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surator Bangor Mama Manda Matirgati Matsava Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vindaranya Kalpa Jumadaha Kalpa Jumada Shimad Ratnagara Simhasanastato Shimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Pestali Bihi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsivata Tatastitaha Karsan Venuswaner Gopir Gopinatak Striyestuna Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vikas Maharaj Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Hanuman Prashak Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Ramapad Swami Iti Namini Isab Paspanjali Swaha
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Vishnuprestaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swamin Iti Namini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnaprestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vikas Swamin Iti Namini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnaprestaya Bhutale Srimati Hanumat Prashak Swamin Iti Namini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnaprestaya Bhutale Srimati Romapada Swamin Iti Namini Esa Pushpanjali Swaha
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Radhanath Swamin Iti Namini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vikas Swamin Iti Namini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Hanumat Prashak Swamin Iti Namini Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Romapad Swamin Iti Namini Esa Pushpanjali Swaha
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama